What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock and what you should be looking out for the future. I'm also going to do some in-depth technical analysis and talk about why NIO still looks very bullish, and also break down the latest numbers that came out for NIO when it comes to their October deliveries, and also how many cars they've delivered in total and what we should be anticipating for earnings, which I believe is going to be pretty good for NIO. And before I break anything down, before I talk about why under NIO still looks very good, why I'm still very bullish for the future, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner, so don't take any of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And the best part is, any of these 12 free stocks could be a free NIO share. It's a limited time offer. The offer ends in a week. Check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. NIO was up 17.51% for the day on Friday alone. Once again, we're not talking about the week. We're not talking about the year. We're talking about just Friday. Huge move to the upside. And if you look at the candle, this thing looks like it really wants to go. When you see the wick on the very bottom in this very, very nice looking setup, it looks like it really wants to go after being very oversold for quite a while. So I would mention to you guys the fact that NIO has been respecting a downward channel because the market has been bearish, guys. It's not just NIO, but we did get lots of bounces off this lower trend line. I'm sure you guys could see it. I know it's a little bit small. I could try to make this bigger. That's okay, whatever. You guys could see there's a bounce here, another bounce here, and now we had the third bounce, and we tend to see these big pushes to the upside after we end up testing this lower trend line. So NIO, in my opinion, is primed for more bullish price action because we are approaching earnings, and also because of midterms that are coming up on the 8th. They all make me look more and more bullish, right? So the real question is, how is NIO going to do on the 10th? How is NIO going to do when they have their earnings, right? Because they have earnings on November 10th. It's going to be very early in the morning, I think like 5:30 a.m. for Americans on the East Coast. So very important to note that. Why on earth do I think it's going to be a pretty good report? I am a little bit cautious when it comes to earnings per share, but I think they're going to do pretty well when it comes to revenue. And I do believe NIO is still set for some nice moves. So let's first talk about their numbers. All right. NIO tweeted this just a couple of days ago. I was pretty busy talking about the Fed and the FOMC meeting and all these things that kind of like stopped me from actually talking about this. So I want to actually talk about why on earth this is so big. This came out just about 2 days ago. NIO delivered 10,059 vehicles in October 2022. Let's go. That is you read this correctly, 174% 174.3%, excuse me, year over year increase. That is insane. That's over about 6,000 smart SUVs, including over 2,800 ES7s, over 3,000 ET7s, and 1,000 ET5s. Amazing, amazing progress. If you look at the total deliveries, we're at 259,000 as of October 31st, 2022. Wow, that is impressive. Why is this impressive? Let's actually look at exactly why. Looking at the data a lot more closely, I think they have some more like reminders of the numbers here. This is a 32% increase year over year from January to October. Their October deliveries, very, very good. Look at the numbers here. Right, I have the charts right here. So for June, the top one right here is at about like 13,000. All right, just wanted to note this because I'm going to go a little bit below that so you guys can see everything other than June. So the light blue rectangles, where is this? Light blue rectangles are 2021. The dark blue ones are 2022. And each of these are for the same months. So remember, we're basically beating everything compared to last year, except for April. NIO actually missed the targets. They actually didn't do as well in April because of the lockdowns. That's not their fault. Supply chain constraints also played a role. So this slowed them down in April and May. And when lots of the critics came in, they came out in June and they broke their entire records for the month of June. They did very well. So anyways, when it comes to Q3, all right, we're going to be looking at July, August, and September. You will notice that NIO beat 2021. They got 10,000 deliveries compared to 7,900 for August, right? Back in 2021, we barely got under 6,000. For this year, for 2022, over 10,677. For September of 2021, we had 10,600. This time we actually had 10,800 for September for this year. Now, if we look at October, last year, we had about 4,000 deliveries in October 2021 due to supply chain constraints and things like that. For this year, for 2022, we're at over 10,000. So now we're consistently getting 10,000 deliveries again and again and again. Very impressive, guys. I'm impressed. They're doing very well, in my opinion. And if you're doing over 10,000 deliveries per month just at this rate alone, that's over 120,000 deliveries per year. But remember, as time goes on, the amount of deliveries is going to respect an uptrend. You guys could see historically they're doing better and better. And if you compare their numbers right now compared to like January and like February and March, we're actually beating on all of those. So they're doing pretty well. All right. NIO's latest deliveries report is like their sixth highest of all time, and I do anticipate more increases. So the main thing to really look at would be these deliveries for July through September. All right, NIO had over like 31,000. Remember, guys, the analysts, the experts were saying, oh, NIO's only going to get 27,000, 28,000. Some were saying NIO will barely get 26,000. NIO did 31,000. They beat expectations from that end. So the real question now is, okay, the company's beating on all these expectations. I'm sure their revenue is good. My only question would be, what is future guidance telling us, especially given everything going on in China? And also, the bigger question is, how is their earnings per share? Are we still profitable? Are we closer to profitability? Are we about to see it? How on earth are profits and margins being impacted by the whole like lockdown situation, the slowdown in demand, and things like that? It's going to be very important. So I'm going to be watching that very carefully. Once again, on the 10th of November is when the big earnings is coming. But I consider this very bullish. This data right here alone is very bullish to me, considering that they actually have one of their highest delivery quarters of all time. Right? Very, very good. Because if we look at the last quarter, we had like 25,000. Now we're well above 30,000. Hoping for something even stronger for the end of this year, for November and December. I'm hoping for better reports. I'm still very optimistic. So why does this make me bullish? Another big thing about this would be as they expand, all right, the demand for people to use their cars and essentially buy them for the future is going to be even bigger. In Europe right now, NIO is prioritizing kind of like renting out these cars, at least for the time being, but eventually I'm confident they're going to be selling cars too. They're still doing well because they're putting their hands in all these different markets. Because we know the largest markets are Europe itself and also China. And then the USA is also pretty big, but because of geopolitical issues, I'm not as optimistic about that really working out. But that's a-okay, guys, because I'm still very confident that NIO will do what they can to make it work out. And if that's not the case, we still have Europe, we have so many countries, and we're still in China. We know China is massive. So I'm still very bullish, guys. I think this company has so much potential. I do believe the uptrend in deliveries should allow us to see at least 15,000 every single month over the next couple of months. I do believe NIO is going to achieve that, especially because of the big upgrades being made to NIO Park. I also believe that the big upgrades to their production and means of production and speed of production is also going to help them big time. So, with all that said, guys, I'm super, super bullish. Very, very bullish on this outlook. I think deliveries are strong. I think revenue is going to be good. There were some price cuts that were kind of like recent, but it's not as bad. And EPS is the only thing that's like really concerning me. All right. So for NIO stock, all right, it looks bullish. The midterm rally is probably going to help this thing pump a bit more. And I do believe that the midterm rally is not the bigger factor. The bigger factor is earnings. I do believe NIO is going to see a very, very nice move. I still think we're going to get another big day. I'm still very bullish. So be ready, guys. Remain calm, cool, and collected. Be ready for this earnings. I can't wait to see what they say, what they announce, and be prepared for anything because sometimes unexpected things can happen in this market, but just be ready. Anyways, thank you all for listening. I hope you guys found value in this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. NIO to the moon because the long-term future is still incredibly bright. Deliveries are still strong, and I'm still very bullish. And peace out.